Stephen, what do you got for us this one?
So I think I must say actually, Gavin, he's so modest actually, because he's only really skimmed the surface of some of the stuff. And I know that because I've been living with Gavin this last 6 weeks or so. He's been living with us really up in Roxford Street in the university. And actually there's far more going on. So I guess my role with FinTech Scotland alongside Gavin, as long as carrying the bags, is actually what we're trying to do is put some sort of foundations of how do we make this part of the world, this part of Scotland, this part of Edinburgh really sort of the centre of excellence of all things open banking and then open finance. And that's something we've been working on, Gavin and I, with our colleagues at the university. And that stems really from engagement at a political level. So we've had sessions with John Glenn, who's the Secretary of State for the Treasury, who visited a few weeks back, alongside the two key ministers, really, from a Scottish Government point of view, Kate Forbes and Ivan McKee, as well as Derek Mackay, in terms of their engagement. Because whilst the politicians are not there to drive open banking, they're key in terms of getting that mobilisation about what we could potentially create here in terms of foundations. Alongside that, I won't go into the names yet, but we've been engaging with those big institutions who are key in terms of open banking, in terms of data coming in and resources to create some of the foundations that are quite sort of key, and those are emerging. Alongside engaging with future investors who will actually provide the capital to provide really the fuel to help innovations. And in fact, James and Laurel joined me on one of those when we had some visits through the university from sovereign fund investors from the Middle East and Far East. So all that is kind of all about, these are small stepping stones about building some of the foundations that we need, really to encourage here to be a centre for excellence around open banking and open finance, to encourage greater innovation and participation by the bigger enterprises. That takes time, and sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but we are making progress. And we're hoping really that when we get to when the big global open banking summit sort of takes place, which is organised by Gavin's organisation FData, some of you remembers, takes place in December 6th and 7th in McEwan's Hall up at the university. We'll be able to unfold and start to share some of those foundations. So that's what we're working towards. There's not any sort of big announcement at the moment, but that's sort of an example of how we bring alive open banking as an environment for innovation, for both innovators and big enterprises, but also with a focus on creating what we refer to as an economic observatory, creating a focus around the social policy around open banking, and also the ethics and standards that are required as well in adopting an open banking sort of standards. So all those elements are part of the mix. On that latter piece, a key part of our engagement for both Gareth and myself has actually been with the regulator, the FCA, who are hugely supportive around this, and there's an indication of that. What they've agreed upon, what they've put forward, which we've agreed really from the 1st of October, is one of their senior regulators is actually joining FinTech Scotland full-time for 12 months on secondment. Really to focus working with me and Gavin on the open banking sort of developments, alongside some of the other FinTech developments as well. That provides us with someone really on a day-to-day basis to be working with us in some of those developments. So I think that's a terrific sort of endorsement around the community here in Scotland, the strategic opportunity and the opportunity to have the regulator involved at the outset. And Nicola Anderson will join on the 1st of October working with myself, and the future meeting, Nicola will be along here with us as well. So that's an indication of some of the FCA very much sort of seeing this opportunity of being involved in the innovation and the commitment about what we're trying to build. So they're just the stepping stones. We're starting to piece some of that together. I think over the coming months, really, I think Gavin and I will be able to share a bit more of some of the examples, hopefully, that we'd like to sort of bring alive. The last piece I'd like to mention, because it's in line with the theme around payments, FinTech's fortnight kicked off Thursday. It was due to kick off today, and we just had a terrific event on the international sort of side here, hosted by James with some international contributions, but actually started on Thursday and started in Fife, as many as you know, because that's where FinTech started, as Bill reminds me often, 40 odd years ago, Bill, in Dalgety Bay. That's where FinTech really started globally anywhere. And the FinTech community in Fife, based around payments, have got together over recent months and created what they refer to as a FinTech Skills Consortium to develop an academy with some actual specific development around skills development focused on payments. And that's what they announced, the community announced. We were with them last Thursday up in Fife. And I think that's a terrific example about the community coming together with the council, with the college, coming together in terms of something that's actually affordable and accessible for people to move into the world of fintech in a specific area where there are skills, but those skills need to be sort of built upon going forward in terms of the numbers of people. And it's a real sort of testament actually to the Fife community. You've got Renovite Technologies who've recently moved part of their operation from California-based business to Fife and started up there. So there's an example, and I think maybe at some stage the community can think about a future skills academy in other areas, not necessarily Fife, could be here in Edinburgh or somewhere else, Melrose, around other aspects of open banking that maybe would like to come back and consider. But it's a great shining example about what the Fife community have done around skills focused on payments.
Cool. And a good lead into PCL doing a little 5-minute chat. Thanks, Stephen.